be another example of that as well. Because you're going through life thinking, yeah, you're happy. And yeah, so that's one element. So right now, you said you're not quite ready for Islam right now.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you to be ready? What do you need to be ready for? Because I'm just trying to understand what understanding you have of Islam.
Well, you have to give your life to Allah, right?
Yeah. Give your life to Allah. What does that mean?
Like you have to pray 5 times a day. You have to cover your head, cover your arms.
Okay. Now, it's like covering up the dress code, yeah? Which, mashallah, the sister's doing a beautiful example of, yeah? There's levels, there's stages. The fundamental, even you saying praying 5 times a day, there's something that comes even before that, which is the belief in Allah. Once you have the belief in Allah, you notice that, look, you're inclined to do these things. You want to connect with Allah 5 times a day. You want to follow the dress code that's legislated by God. Yeah. So now, let's water and support and facilitate and build upon this connection with God. Yeah. So, do you believe in God?
I don't know.
So now that is an important question. So let's look if there's strong reasons to believe in God. Okay. So you're not sure if you believe in God right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty, right?
Of course.
The way I address that statement is by asking, where did the universe come from?
I don't have an answer to that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
Do you not think it's important?
Yeah, I do.
Because right now, through our limited interaction, I can see that you've got a good head on your shoulder. You're a smart person, right? You spend time learning, educating yourself. You've probably gone quite far in the education system. But you're laughing.
No, she has no agreeing. I'm totally agreeing, yeah.
Yeah? But you haven't invested in thinking to yourself, like, what created this? Where did this come from? What's my purpose in life?
Yeah.
Is there a purpose in life? Where am I going to go?
Yeah, you tell me that all the
course,
time.
yeah.
I try and ask her the exact same thing. I was like, why haven't you become Muslim yet? And then she'll be like, oh, because I just haven't got a chance to think about that. And I'm like, where do you think the universe comes from? She's like, I don't know. Me yet, like
yeah, I think
you know how some people think too deep into it. I get it, they don't, but
No, because I'm getting mixed messages from you. One minute it's like there's too much commitment, you fully give your life. Next minute it's like, wait, you're not even sure it exists. So, like, you need to be a bit more like I don't mean in a rude way. I mean in the sense that the way my brain works, the way I'm trying to comprehend our conversation. So I would say that, look, the universe. All the leading scientists agree that the universe came into existence. Would you agree with that? Do you think it's finite or infinite? Finite means it's not going to last forever, it's created, and infinite means that it's going to last forever.
No, I don't think it's going to last forever.
Yeah? So then that implies it's finite, it was created. Yeah? And everything that's created was put into creation.
Has a creator.
Has a creator. Has a beginning. Yeah. Has a cause. So I'm saying that cause is Allah. Is something that's all-knowing, all-powerful.
Yeah.
Because it didn't just put a entity to exist, it put the entire universe and the cosmos and the systems in place. So when I ask you what created the universe, where did the universe come from? Like Allah in the Quran says that, look, did you create yourself? You didn't create yourself, then there's a creator. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So then Allah gives a 4-line, not then after, but the Quran continues in chapter 112, where it gives a 4-line definition of God. Yeah? Which is, Allah is uniquely one. Yeah? He's self-sustaining, eternal. Yeah. So Allah is not in need of anything. Yeah. Allah is independent, not dependent on anything. I'll make this as a point because we're going to get back to it. Yeah. He does not have offspring, nor was he born. So Allah, by definition, is uncreated, comparable to God. Right now, give me an example of something coming from nothing.
Something comes from nothing. I don't know.
Looking around.
Yeah, I'm looking around. I don't know.
Because there isn't an example thing come from nothing. It's more logical and rational to believe in a creator than not to believe in a creator. I had this many times. I speak to arrogant atheists and they're like, I can calculate to, like there's a professor of quantum mechanics. I spoke to him for 20 minutes. Like, I can calculate to the very moment. Yeah, are you studying quantum mechanics, by the way?
Oh, no.
Okay, because I'm seeing you outside.
Oh, no. We're just smiling at each other.
Stop being happy, okay? It's not happy time. This is no, I'm joking. Professor of quantum mechanics, and he's like really arrogant and pompous, and he's like, oh, my hypothesis, and I don't have faith, I trust in this, and I can calculate to the very moment the Big Bang happened. I go, that's fine. What caused the Big Bang? Give me an example of something coming from nothing. My man had this hat and he walked away. Because it was finished, you've got nothing to say.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, from nothing comes nothing. He's waffling, black hole, atom. I'm like, where did the atom come from?
Yeah.
Where's the matter, the black hole come from?
Yeah.
And then he went blank on his face. I'm like, then don't chat breeze to me. You chat from arrogance and you think like you're going to confuse me with your arguing from authority. No, you're not. Yeah? So now, are you more inclined to believe in a creator than not to believe in a creator? Is there a creator? Now, after this conversation, based on what I've said.
Man, I don't know. Like, for me, I feel like I'm only going to believe it when it's proven to me.
What proof do you need?
That Allah exists.
How?
What do you mean how?
What's your criteria?
Find a way to give me proof.
I'm going to give you proof.
Okay.
Yeah?
Cool.
Okay. Allah by definition is perfect. Yeah? And if Allah reveals a scripture, the scripture is going to be perfect. Have you ever read a book which is perfect?
I've read books I think are perfect, yeah.
You've read a perfect book. I want to read this book. What's it called?
It was a book that I read in high school.
And it was perfect. What was perfect about it?
The storyline was perfect. The character adaptation.
She's doing English lit?
No.
Yes? Alright. Now, the Quran has prophecies. Gets it right. They come true. It talks about subjects, gets it right. For example, science, gets it right. Talks about history, gets it right. There's no mathematical errors. Yeah? The linguistic miracles. Yeah? The preservation. Yeah, it's been perfectly preserved, which I'm going to touch upon. So the message is perfect in regards to a complete way of life. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So for me, that book is perfect.
Yeah.
Hence, it must be from God. It's perfectly preserved. The Prophet Muhammad, who the Quran was revealed to, spoke Arabic. The Quran is in Arabic. In a museum, in a university in Birmingham, we have a carbon-dated Quran in the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad, which is the same book that we've got over 2 million Muslims who've memorized it, word for word, letter for letter, dot for dot. So I can make the claim that, we've preserved it in writing in a museum in Turkey and a university in Cairo, but that's secondary. Primary is an oral tradition. So from God to the angel Gabriel, to the Prophet Muhammad, to his disciples, and so on and so forth. How do you feel about this book? Do you not feel like it's miraculous? Do you not feel like I want to read this book? Do you not feel like I say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah? Go on. How do you feel about what I've said so far?
You know, I agree with everything you're saying so far.
What questions do you have as well?
I don't have any questions so far. I just want to hear more.
Yeah? Thank you. Yeah? I love the sound of my voice. I can continue this. Let's see.
Great then, yeah.
I got time, you got time.
Yeah,
Bismillah, let's
exactly.
do this, yeah? All right. So,
sorry, I have one quick question. Where is this going?
Sfdawah, Dawah to the soul, unite upon the heart.
Do you know any of them?
Yes. You can firstly...
All on YouTube, basically.
All on YouTube, some Facebook, some other places.
Yeah, no, that's fine, yeah.
We're flexible. And plus, how could I forget? This continuous message foundation as well. You can scan it.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So, for me, my evidence and the evidence that God exists is this book, Quran. 80% of it has been proven 100% correct. The other 20% is ambiguous. So you can't prove it neither right or wrong. So
Okay.
it talks about heaven. You're not gonna, I can't tangibly prove to you heaven exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, using science, because science is limited by space, by time, by something that's tangible. Yeah, physically I have to be able to test it. Angels, I can't grab an angel and start doing experiments and prove it to you. Yeah? But it's a logical inference that if 80% that can be tested and proved is correct, then the ambiguous parts must be when it's talking about heaven and hell.
When you put it like that, it makes you think, why are there Christians and why are there like other religions?
You're the reason. Because we don't have time.
Yeah.
Right now, if you, I don't know, it's rude to ask your age, but however, to whatever age you got to, you've never been bothered to pick up the holy book. I'm not saying reject, I'm saying, look, go through the religious scriptures. You'll realize the Quran stands out. The Bible doesn't make a claim it's from God. It doesn't make a claim it's been perfectly preserved. Yeah? If anyone read the Quran, it will blow their mind. But we don't have time. Why? Because we're living in a consumer-driven world.
Yeah.
They get us in a rat race to earn money. When you go to work, you'll be like, oh my gosh, we can't talk about politics. We can't talk about religion. We can't talk about death. Why not? Oh, it causes conflict. Fam, Manchester United fan and an Arsenal fan, I've seen man them get into a big argument. But I can't talk about religion in a respectful way.
Yeah.
No, they're brainwashing us. You know what I mean? Because they want us to continue this rat race, pay the taxes, don't challenge the status quo, spend money on being consumer driven, but then, oh, let's change the world. Does it make sense? Islam, the third pillar, zakat. You give 2.5% of your annual wealth. We're the only economical system that eradicate poverty. But you've never learned it. You've learned history, but you never learned about the Islamic Empire. We eradicate poverty. 1400 years ago, a man in the desert, an unlettered man, the Prophet Muhammad, said, the best amongst you is the one who's the best to his wife. The Christian church was debating if women, if you can inherit women. The philosophers were debating, the Christian churches were debating, do women have souls? And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is saying, they can inherit, they have rights, treat them kindly. You know what I mean? A man came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, look, Islam, okay, alhamdulillah. Feel free to come here, inshallah. Get my camera, bro. Habibi, we're just in front of the camera, Habibi. Okay? A man came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and said, look, who deserves my companionship? Said, your mother. Who next? Your mother. Who next? Your mother. Who next? Your father. You don't hear about this. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
In the final sermon of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, no white man is better than a black man. No Arab is better than a non-Arab. We're talking about, he's saying, as an Arab, saying it to other Arabs who are very nationalistic. And he's saying this, he's giving women's rights. And he's saying the only thing that differentiates you is your God consciousness, taqwa. You can't see my taqwa. I'm not wearing my taqwa.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? What shoes I'm wearing, what watch I've got, what phone I'm carrying. These status symbols, no, in Islam we don't care.
Yeah.
In Islam, what matters is what's in your heart. And that's why I said, you're talking about covering up. Covering up isn't even one of the pillars. Yeah? You're talking about X, Y, and Z, devoting your life. I'm like, devote your life after you've affirmed, after you know the one you're devoting your life is worth devoting your life to.
Yeah.
Then you're going to want to.
Of course, yeah.
You've seen the sister before she became Muslim, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And massive dress code change? Or she was always wearing covered head to toe? Is it like, I don't want you to expose, but I'm saying there's a difference in the way she's dressing, her behavior. And why is there a difference? Because she's born and brought up in the West. Yeah? And she's chosen to leave the Western dress code and follow the dress code legislated by God. Now, I'm not saying you necessarily need to follow her example. You do your own private personal journey. I'm saying more importantly is get that connection with God. Get that obedience with God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
How do you feel about what I've said?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with everything. Like everything you said has definitely made sense. Like the way you broke it down, I was very easy to understand everything that you were saying. Like it makes everything that you're saying basically makes sense.
It's not my first day.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So, okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Anything that I can't answer. Think of all the things you say. Oh yeah, like I'd have to ask somebody because I can't answer them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Damn.
It's gone out your head now, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
No, not even that. Think about it like this. Rely on your thinking. Like, look, by the end of this conversation, I'm going to be honest with you. My intention is I want you to leave as a Muslimah, someone who's guaranteed paradise, someone who's going to enter paradise. And I'm going to answer you, sister, what's stopping you from becoming a Muslim? So think, what is stopping you from becoming a Muslim? Because you believe in God. You've seen your immediate close friend who grabbed you by the elbow and brought you here have a positive change. Right now, you know the one who created us, the one that created the universe. Should we not obey that creator? Or should we obey our manager? Obey, like what? Where should we give our main priority to? Like, it's good to maintain this kind of routine of going to work, listening to your school teacher. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
When your professor says you need to hand in your assignment on this day, on this time, you do it.
Yeah.
You've done your all-nighters, you know about the energy drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah? And you're binging on it just to get the assignment done. Why? Because the professor said so. But then the one who's created you and given you all these blessings. Just a few moments ago, I was speaking to an atheist and I was saying that, look, like she was giving a lot of emphasis to money. And I said that, look, okay, I'm going to give you £5 million. All I want is 2 of your eyes. She said no. I said to her, look, you give me the amount you want for your eyes. She goes, no, it's priceless.
Yeah.
How much do you have which is priceless? Your ability to blink, your ability to breathe. I was crying like a baby a few months ago. I was ill. One of my nostrils wasn't working, it was blocked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel unwell and all this kind of stuff. And these are things we take for granted.
Yeah.
I know one brother who was doing his bicycle and cut the tip of his finger off. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how much his life's changed? It's just weird. Gripping stuff and stuff like that. It's important. Allah's designed us in a perfect way. Does it make sense? Look at the thumb. If we didn't have a thumb, how would our life be different? Yeah. Don't judge my dry hands. Yeah. Let's not go there. So I'm saying all these blessings God has given you, but yet you're not willing to submit to the Creator. God's given you the signs, the Quran, yet you're not willing to make a bit of time to read it. Does it make sense? Because that guidance in the Quran is good. Yeah? Follow it, bring it into your life. More importantly, the belief. I'm going to make a few statements and you tell me if you disagree with me.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting jealous. Less cameras are facing me, but let's not go there, yeah? Right now, God is one. Say it loud, do you say it proudly?
Oh, you want me to repeat after
No, I'm saying, do you affirm it? Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, God is one. God deserves to be worshipped.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about it. No, there's no pressure. Because if you're like, I'm not sure, I'll convince you.
Okay, I agree with you, yeah.
Yeah? God deserves to be obeyed.
I agree.
Yeah? God created us for a reason.
Yeah, I agree.
God would communicate that reason to us.
I don't agree.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So God created us purposelessly. No, create us you said God created us with a purpose. You're not sure?
I agree to an extent.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like not everyone can find what if you don't find your purpose in life?
Okay. this is a Western notion. Yeah, your purpose in life. What if you don't find it? Like, what if you don't find it? I'm giving you your purpose in life. You're not accepting it. Your purpose in life is to worship the Creator alone. And through that submission to God, you're going to get happiness. If you live your life the way you want to live, you're not going to be happy. You're going to have short-term happiness. Yeah?
Fair enough.
I met one brother, he had tattoos, and he's telling me about, he used to bartend in Spain and how happy his life was. A'udhu billah, my apologies, like he was sleeping around X, Y, and Z, right? And I go, all right, if you're so happy, why are you in this country? He goes, then there was drugs and this, that. So I go, don't lie to me, my bro. I wasn't born yesterday. Yeah, you're talking to me like that hedonistic lifestyle made you happy. It gave you short-term happiness and you left it. Sleeping around with different women, getting drunk, drinking alcohol and taking drugs. It didn't make you happy. That's why you left that lifestyle. So I'm saying, who knows you better than you know yourself? The Creator. And if in the Quran, there's nothing which is good for you which is forbidden.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
There's nothing which is good for you which is forbidden. There's nothing which is good for you which Allah said you can't do it. Everything which is forbidden for you, it makes sense, there's a good reason for it. For long-term happiness. For long-term happiness, we follow the Creator. Now, Allah is all-knowing, all-powerful, created us for a reason, told us what that reason is through prophets and messengers. Men chosen amongst men to articulate and express the guidance from God. Once they die, and these men are the Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Jesus, the Prophet Moses, the Prophet Abraham, Adam, Noah, David, and all the prophets in between. Yeah? They came with a perfect guidance. Once they die and the guidance changes or gets corrupted, yeah, the message lives on through a perfect book, which I'm claiming is the Quran. A lot of Muslims, we talk about the Prophet Muhammad and we put a lot of emphasis there because there's no more prophets to come. He's the seal of the prophets and the religion is complete now. Jesus, you was brought up in a Christian family?
No, I was brought up with no religion.
No religion, all right. From the little you may know about Jesus Christ, he never got married. He never done business transactions. He can't tell you how to treat your wife, how to raise your children, how to conquer lands, how to lead an army. Yeah, Islam goes from how to lead a state, how to treat your spouse, how to raise your children, how to cut your nails, how to wash yourself in the bathroom. Like, oh no, I always emphasize this. Like, I'm proud to say it. My religion is complete to the point that I know how to be cleansy.
Yeah, that's so good, yeah.
Does it make sense?
That's great.
And I'm saying, subhanAllah, God, Allah Almighty has actually legislated and articulated to us how to clean ourselves. Because He's not going to let us leave us to it because Allah wants good for us. God wants good for us. I keep using the word Allah. What does Allah mean? Allah means the one worthy of worship. Allah is the Arabic term where you can't put an S to make it gender, goddess. No. You can't add an S to make it plural, gods, Allahs. Allah is singular and He's separate from His creation. He's different. He's not comparable to His creation. We worship the Creator, not the creation. I made a video and I made a mistake, so I'm going to emphasize. We worship the Creator, not the creation. So now, I was talking about the prophets and revelation. God created us. Would God not articulate to us how to live, what to do, what not to do? And I'm saying God articulated that through the Prophet Muhammad. His life has been preserved. His statements have been preserved in hadiths. Yeah, we have an entire science behind how we've preserved and authenticated. The individual who heard the Prophet say, was he trustworthy? Was he there? Is he honest? Does he have a good memory? And so on and so forth. So I have these different criteria and was able to preserve how to live, what to do, what not to do. So now, going back to my question, would you think that God would communicate to us how to live now that I've articulated what I've said?
Yeah.
Because with all due respect, all the major religions agree upon this point. Jesus came with this guidance, Moses came with this guidance, prophets come.
From the prophets, like you're taking your shahada, is that true?
No, not yet.
No, maybe somewhere else. Soon. I like what the sister said, not yet. Yeah, no pressure, I'm only joking, but
Yeah, of course.
whatever you're ready for, does that
Yeah.
make sense? And I'm confident that we'll see where the conversation takes us,
yeah.
yeah? Because sometimes my jokes and like I don't want to like pressure you unnecessarily.
No, us.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I by the way, I have a question for you whenever you're.
Let me just finish. Are you going to remember the question?
Yeah. Of course, I will remember it. Don't worry.
In fact, ask. Go on,
She was
bismillah.
forget it.
No, I won't. Okay, it's cool, whatever. I was going to say, would you say that it's better to die a really bad Muslim than to die not a Muslim at all?
The question is a very good question. And the fact of the matter is, as a believer who's testified that there's only one God that's worthy of worship, right? That will get you the keys to paradise. That means, as a Muslim, sooner or later you enter paradise. Yeah? Because that belief is somewhere in your heart. Yeah? And that belief is what enters you into paradise. Now, imagine you've done a lot of wrong things. Then at least you're gonna enter paradise. There's still gonna be like punishment or judgment where God is gonna decide. God could choose to forgive you without punishment. Or you might have to, you've wronged people and then there's gonna be like things that are going through judgment and so on and so forth. Now, imagine there's someone who doesn't believe in Islam, yeah, and they're really good. Like they give charity and they do this and they do that. I mean, are they really good though? Because if you're going and disobeying the one who created you, then how do you know what good is? You're like, you're
Think about what you said, don't worry.
yeah. No, you're gonna say, no, I'm a good person. Say
No,
it.
I'm not. I'm a good person.
But-
I'm not the right person, but I wouldn't say I'm a great person, no.
Now, how do we know how to be good? Because the thing is, it's societal. Like, different societies have a different concept. It's subjective. Yeah. And I'm saying the objective judge, the decider, is Allah. Yeah. So, I would argue we can't be good. We can't. We don't deserve paradise if we don't have that foundation to build on, that we believe and we worship Allah. Because that belief in Allah, worshipping Allah, submission to Allah, following Allah, obeying Allah, that makes us good people. Yeah? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did, definitely.
Yeah. What was your question? Just remind me.
My question was, would you say it's better to die a really bad Muslim than to die not being a Muslim at all?
Like the worst
Yeah.
non-believer, then that's what, like the worst non-believer
Yeah.
or the.
Because I put a spin on it, and yeah, the fact of the matter is,
Case gets so shitty, and it did, so perfect.
the simple answer is yes, because as the worst believer, you're still guaranteed paradise. And it's not me saying it, it's revealed to the man chosen by God through the scripture revealed by God. How do you feel about my answer?
Yeah, no, your answer makes perfect sense. Yeah, no.
Yeah? So, based on that, because you agree with all the fundamentals, yeah? You've agreed with everything that you need to be a person of paradise. Yeah? So now I'm going to ask you again, sister, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who submits to the Creator? Now, I'm going to interrupt you. Yeah? It's difficult. All your family are not Muslims. You're going to be ostracized. They're going to see it as strange. But the reality of it is, your loyalty should be to the one who created you. Right now, innately, you believe in a creator. Innately, it's natural. Because you ask a small child, like, where did this all come from? They're going to say God.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not going to say multiple gods. Brother Yusuf. Come through. Yeah? No, it's cool, it's cool. Okay. I forgot the point I was
You
going to
said
make.
you're asking a little child if they believe in God. They're not going to say multiple gods. They're just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Does that make sense? So this is natural. When you go to parts of the world where it's like they're not even wearing clothes, they're just covering themselves basically, and they're very not with civilization,
Yeah.
but they still believe in a creator.
Yeah.
On a sinking ship, I used to use the example of planes, but I don't use plane examples no more.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. In a sinking ship, people still worship. I mean, on a sinking ship, there's no atheists. As soon as the sinking ship, they're going to start believing in God. They're going to start praying to God. Oh God, get me out of this situation. Oh God, help me. I think atheism is just not natural. So I'm just asking you to testify to something which is innate, which is natural. Because the sister said, she didn't say she became Muslim, she said she reverted. As in she came back to Islam, because we're all born upon Islam, which is fitrah, which is there's one God. The God deserves to be worshipped.
Yeah.
Yeah? Not multiple gods. Our natural inclination to be good, does it make sense? If I threw something in your face, you're going to cover your face. This is natural. This is fitrah. Yeah? So I'm saying to yourself that, look, what's stopping you from embracing that natural truth that you know to be true? Don't worship the creation, worship the creator. Because right now, you don't realize it, but you're, are you still in education? Are you working?
No, not in education.
Yeah. If you're worshipping something, it's either
Your boss at work.
your boyfriend, money, education, whatever, because it's like I'm saying, no, don't be a slave to that. Don't be a slave to your desire.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? People become anorexic and go on these fab diets and stuff like that. Why? Because they're slaves to their appearance and how people perceive them.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, look, don't be a slave to the creation, be a slave to the creator.
Yeah.
So my sister, what's stopping you from becoming a Muslim?
Okay. Give me a second, okay?
Yeah. You can do 50-50 or phone a friend or ask a friend. I'm winding you up. Just, Shadi, all jokes aside, take a moment. Uqzul, think about it. You haven't disagreed with anything I've said. If you permit me, can I go through the 5 pillars with you?
If you want to, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah? There's an extra charge. Everything up to this point was free. 5 pillars is going to cost you money. So now, the first pillar of Islam is Shahada, the belief in Allah. Yeah? There's only one God, and Allah sent the Prophet Muhammad, who we affirm him because the Quran came through him. The Quran is perfect, then we believe, put our trust in the one the Quran was revealed to, the Prophet Muhammad. We've got his biography, everything makes sense. So belief in Allah, yeah, and belief that he sent his final messenger, the Prophet Muhammad. Then it's praying 5 times a day. Yeah. Now again, it's a personal journey. Yeah. I like to give the example of someone robbing a bank. Calm down, my friend. I'm talking. Anyways, someone's going to rob a bank. When are they going to rob a bank? They want to commit a major sin. When are they going to commit a major sin? You wake up, you pray. In the afternoon, you pray. Midday, you pray. Yeah. In the night, you pray. Before you go to sleep, you pray. I don't get a chance. When am I going to organize my great heist in between my salahs? Yeah? And imagine I do fall into sin and I do rob the bank. I've got another few more chances to repent and ask God for forgiveness. Do you know what I mean? So praying 5 times a day. I've had people become Muslim as soon as I get to the second pillar. Like, I want that connection with God. Do you know what I mean? I go, calm down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people want that. Look, going to the church once a week is not enough. Yeah. Now it's up to you how much time you spend praying. It doesn't take up a long period of your time.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen her pray many times.
Yeah, mashallah, tabarakallah. So now you've got that giving zakat, where we eradicate poverty. It's 2.5% of your wealth that you haven't spent in 1 calendar year. You've deducted your living expenses Whatever remains, you give 2.5% of it. And we've eradicated poverty. 2.5%, that's 1/40th of your wealth that you haven't spent in one calendar year. We didn't have no more poor people. We was reinvesting in other elements in Islam, do you know what I mean? Because there was no more poor people. Who can say, what society can say they eradicate poverty?
They can't.
Everyone's like, oh my gosh, if God exists, why are there poor people? I go, there's poor people because you man's don't, you're not implementing the law of God. Does it make sense? Even, I think there was a article done in regards to, who's the richest man in the world?
Bill Gates, is it?
No, the other guy. Tesla guy. Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
If he gave 2.5% of his wealth.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, no. The world, I forgot, somewhere in the UN or something, they were saying how the World Watch or whatever, saying that, look, if he gave 2.5% of his wealth, there would be no more poor people around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Does it make sense? 2% of the richest people in the world, the top 1% of the richest people have the combined wealth of the world.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
1%. That's how disproportionate is that?
I know.
Yeah. The GDP of the 50 poorest countries and this, that. But it's just because we've become very selfish and self-absorbed and we're not following the commandments of God, rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. Zakat is a tax for the rich to give to the poor. How do I know if you're eligible to give zakat? If you can't receive it, you give it. We eradicate poverty. Then it's fasting, the month of Ramadan. If you're not too young, if you're not too old, if you're not ill, if you're not traveling, if you're not on your period. That's how easy Allah's made it. Then fast 30 days. Now science is showing how beneficial it is. I fast because God said so. And now science is saying that it is an amazing detox for the body. It kills cancerous cells. We look into it, it's a miraculous. Fasting continuously for 30 days is miraculous. It's very good for the health. Yeah? And the last one is Hajj. It's the holy pilgrimage following the example of going to the Kaaba, which was built by the Prophet Abraham, and do the pilgrimage. If you can afford it. If you're not too old. If you're not too young. Islam is based on these 5 pillars. Do you disagree with any of them?
Nope.
She was gonna punch you, are you sure? She's gonna like body slam you.
I literally agree with everything that you're saying.
Yeah? Anything scare you?
No.
Yeah?
It's scary, no.
At any point did I say you have to cover your arm?
No, you did not.
Yeah? The 5 pillars, yeah? This is the fundamentals. If you agree with the fundamentals, you're not going to disagree with anything else. You know what a pillar is, right? It's what keeps it up. This is the 5 pillars of Islam. You learned it in secondary school or primary school. Yeah? So, knowing the 5 pillars, which inshallah you're going to bring into your life once you become Muslim, what's stopping you now from guaranteeing yourself by the permission of Allah paradise? Bringing in a complete way of life which is going to make you happy long term, which once you bring into your life, once you're practicing it, once you understand it and start implementing it into your life and you're confident and you've built on that knowledge, you can spread it to your friends and family. Do you not want paradise for your friends and family? I say to people, as soon as you become Muslim, right, you're challenged to make 5 people around you Muslim by the permission of Allah. And you can do it.
I've done 1 so far.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
Oh, Kiana, okay.
Does it make sense? Easy peasy. Why? Because there are, at least you've got 5 people who would be susceptible to what you're coming with. Do you know what I mean? And you don't need to invite your family. Let them see how beneficial it is to you. Let them see how it's changed you. Let them see how it's actually uplifted their rights over you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a lot of reavers, like, I don't want to be nice to my parents. They annoy me. But because Islam says so, I'm going to do it. And their parents respond to the message because they're like, wait, my son never behaved like this before. My daughter never behaved like this before. Islam is making this rowdy child into someone actually remotely like palatable. Yeah. So sister, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation?
No, I
with
do
the keys
believe
to
in
better?
this conversation. I do. I agree with everything that
Don't
you've
believe
been
in this
saying.
conversation. Believe in Allah. Because the fact of the matter is, look, you get hit by lightning. Yeah, you get hit by lightning, struck by lightning. Yeah, and you die. Where are you gonna go? What's gonna happen?
I'm gonna go in the ground. I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be dead. I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be dead.
Yeah. Do you have a soul?
I have a soul. Yeah.
Yeah. Who created the soul?
Allah, apparently.
No, apparently, clearly. Does it make sense? If you believe in a soul, that's nothing tangible. I can't prove to you you have a soul.
Yeah.
But you believe in a soul. And I'm saying the one who created that soul you believe in, yeah, is going to judge that soul. And that soul does not die. Now that soul is either going to go heaven or hell. Now one of the criteria for you to go to heaven, that soul to go to heaven, is belief in Allah and follow the commandments. Now you're like, yes, I see the finishing line. In fact, brother, you've convinced me the finishing line exists. Yeah. In fact, you're very close to the finishing line, but you haven't crossed it. Yeah. And then that reason that you haven't crossed it, it's not based on logical reason. Because I'm challenging you, I'm welcoming you to question me, but you don't have any questions. Do you have any questions?
No.
Ask. And there's no such thing as a silly question.
I don't have any questions. Like my mind's actually gone blank.
Yeah. Take a moment. I'm gonna give you a moment.
Down the road, I have so many things to say, but then suddenly when I'm here, it's just like everything just goes out of my head.
Because the fact of the matter is, by the permission of Allah, yeah, Allah wants you to have this conversation with me.
Of course,
Yeah.
you believe that everything's meant to happen for a reason.
Oh, and fate.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, fate, destiny,
yeah.
that's one of the articles of faith. In Islam, we believe it's the belief in Allah.
I do believe that, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fate. We call it the decree. Good and bad is from Allah. Yeah, belief in angels, belief in the prophets, belief in the. So I said belief in Allah and belief in Judgment Day. Yeah, so this is all decreed by Allah. Yeah, the sister grabbed you by your elbow. Yeah, but she couldn't drag you against your will. So you wanted, there's a part of you, at a certain point, I can guarantee you, you're like, oh, Allah, not Allah, but you was looking for guidance. You wanted this conversation.
Oh yeah, of course.
How do I know? Am I a mind reader?
Oh, I do. I did want this conversation.
I know, no, this conversation, as in, you want that connection with God. You're looking for purpose. And qadr of Allah, by the permission of Allah, I'm here in Stratford, and we're having this conversation, and everything I'm saying, you agree to it. So I'm asking you now, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who submits their will to God?
say how it is. Say why. Go on.
I don't know. It seems like such a big commitment for me personally.
What's the commitment? Tell me. You're gonna leave. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna leave this conversation as a Muslim. Yeah. Then you're gonna read some Quran. Yeah. You're gonna try your best. Yeah? Then you're gonna think to yourself, shall I tell you something? Muslims pray 5 times a day. So you might decide to wash yourself head to toe. Yeah. Then you're gonna try your best to pray. You don't know how to pray. Sister's gonna show you. Yeah. Then you're gonna pray and you're gonna oh my gosh, what have I been missing out on? Because prayer is the food for the soul. Yeah. And then oh my gosh, when's the next time I'm gonna do it? I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And then you're gonna look into it more. And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, if this makes sense to me, I agree to this. Oh, this is why, because you know the Quran, it's got a very short list of things which are forbidden. The Quran says everything which is forbidden. Everything else is permissible. Does it make sense? To me, that's very beautiful. Allah could have revealed a book saying all of these things is permissible, it would have been a very big book. I just said, look, avoid this. This is haram. Yeah? For example, don't eat dead meat. If you saw like a cow, don't eat it if it's just dead. Don't eat something that's been killed in someone else's name, in the name of another Lord, another creator. Yeah? But then thereafter, in Surah chapter 5, Surah Ma'idah, it goes through what's forbidden in regards to what we can't eat. Everything else is permissible. Islam is easy. Yeah? Don't drink alcohol. Yeah? Okay, you fall in, you slip up, you drink, because I don't like saying what you can't do.
Yeah.
You can drink alcohol but still be a Muslim, knowing that it's wrong. But then you got orange juice and you got milkshake and you got strawberry juice and this, that, whatever, yeah? Like, why are you going to do something that's going to kill your liver, that causes domestic violence and car accidents and so on and so forth? I know of non-Muslims who are passionate, they don't drink. Does it make sense? Leads to like all these kind of sexual crimes and X, Y, and Z and so on and so forth, do you know what I mean? Because when you intoxicate and you have this lowered intervention, inhibitions, then it leads to other issues, do you know what I mean? So I'm saying Allah knows what's good for you. Yeah? So it's like, it's easy. Stay away from what's forbidden, everything else is permissible, life is good. So, my dear sister, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep asking you this question. We got all night, yeah? You said you're not in a rush. What's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who's a Muslim?
Oh no, I just. Did you say earlier that everyone's purpose in life is to become a Muslim?
Everyone's purpose in life is Allah created mankind and jinkind. Jinkind is another creation that's unseen, purely to worship Him. That's our purpose in life. Yeah. Now you're thinking about, I always want to be a doctor. You can worship Allah and be a doctor.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, can you be a doctor who sells people's kidneys and? No, you can't, because Islam it makes these things forbidden. Does it make sense? So it gives you guidance. So right now, that is our purpose. And then what else should we do? That comes with a complete way of life. So, and I'm saying that guidance is what we need. Like everything you buy comes with an instruction manual. God created us and gave us, bad analogy, the instruction manual, which is the Quran. Perfectly preserved. Perfect guidance. No mistakes in it. So sister, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who submits their will to God?
Not yet.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
What made you want to become a Muslim?
because it's the truth. It's all around me. How can I not? Like, how can I say no? Because it was quick. I became Muslim quick.
Oh, yeah. It was quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you see, in the Quran it makes the argument, right? When you look at the creation, it makes you believe in the Creator. Does it make sense? So just look at how Allah made the camels. Camels are like quite miraculous, like the way they're designed, like how they're able to retain the water and walk on hot sand. And you think to yourself like, wait, how are we going to say this is random, this is accidental?
Even like what I was saying, how like parrots talk and we all have different fingertips. Like how? Like subhanAllah, like how?
You know, the sisters talk about fingertips, yeah? The disbelievers came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, look, once we're dead and we've gone, our bones have turned into dust, how is God going to bring us back to life? Allah revealed a verse of the Quran which says, it will bring you back to life down to the tips of your fingers. 1400 years ago. We don't know what that means. What's the relevance? Down to the tips of your fingers. Okay, nice. Now we know every single human being, their fingertips is different. The Quran isn't a book of science. It's a book of signs. There's signs there for the believers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So take a reflect on it. You know what I mean? When the Quran is talking about the embryo, yeah, and it describes it and calls it alaka, yeah, it's miraculous. Like alaka has got 3 different meanings, yeah. All 3 of the meanings is applicable and correct. So now, something blood clot, something that clings, yeah, and my brain is going blank. Alaka, yeah. The third one, leech-like. Now, when you look at an embryo under a microscope, it looks like a leech, yeah. So now that we've discovered using microscope how it looks, wow, wait, that verse is a meaning to it,
Yeah.
a profound meaning to it. And then it's like, wait, when the Quran talks about the 7 or 8 stages of embryo, it says in the right order. We just found this out recently. But then even a baby, yeah, what does it do? It's like a leech. At a low level understanding, it's like, wait, it's taking the resource of the mother.
Yeah.
So as our knowledge expands, the understanding gets deeper. And even the embryo, like initially like a blood clot, and it does cling as well on the, I don't want to go into the science.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just one example of how the Quran talks about science, because Allah is the creator of everything. Allah knows, created science, created everything. Allah is the master of it. Does that make sense? I've had these conversations with doctors, and I'm talking about Professor Keith Moore and how leading embryological expert, and he goes, no, you can't be a doctor without knowing him. He goes, yeah, I'm a doctor, and yeah, I had to study him. And he was like saying, it's not possible for anyone to know this. He's a leading embryological expert without 1400 years ago when there's no when there was no microscope. The Quran must be from God. Does that make sense? So I'm asking you again.
It seems like everyone just has like this, not like everyone just has that feeling. Like you obviously had that feeling with Islam, like you felt like this is it, like this is for me. But I don't have that feeling. But I agree with everything that you're saying though. Like, everything you're saying to me makes sense in my head.
How do you know everyone's got that feeling? Right now, the fact that you're not walking away. Would you like to drink some baby blood?
Some baby? No, no thank you.
Why not? Just drink
That's
it, try
disgusting. No thank you.
it. So you know you don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm offering you Islam, but you're not rejecting it. You're not saying no to it.
I'm happy to learn more about it. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. No. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, what is your expectation? Like, what do you the fact that you don't disagree with it, you want it. You know what you don't want. You didn't want the baby blood. Did you have to think about it? Take a moment.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks,
Yeah,
though.
we've got some just by the
Oh, no, I'm okay, thank you. Don't worry.
Yeah, fresh.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Freshly squeezed
Oh,
baby
yeah,
blood.
no, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. So you don't have a adversity towards it. You don't not want it. And I've had situations where, because you said there's a lot of commitment, you're burdening yourself. You're making it out to be something difficult, and I'm saying no, it's something easy. It's something that's useful, that's beneficial. So once you do it, like I've had plenty of people on road when we're chatting to who've become Muslim, yeah, through a random conversation. Even today, you know how many people became Muslim today?
Wow, really?
How many? I'm asking you a question.
6?
No, more than that. I would say
10?
football match today. So
Oh gosh, yeah.
and lots of them actually do.
I can't answer because it was actually 6.
Really? I was gonna say like 20.
Yeah, there's only a few of us.
Next, yeah, I was gonna say
Six people today.
Yeah.
Practically every single weekend, someone becomes Muslim.
That's great.
We're here every Saturdays.
Yeah.
So, and these are conversations we've directly had. Yeah. They woke up something and they left the conversation and someone who submits to God. Yeah. So I'm asking you, sister, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who submits to God?
Because I feel like if I was actually supposed to be a Muslim, like, I would feel like I would have a feeling toward. I would be feeling like I want to do it. You know, I wouldn't just be like, oh, well, it's whatever. Like I'm fine, happy as I am. You know.
Okay. Do you want to connect with God? Do you feel like if you continued living your life the way you're living now, yeah, and we started off and you said you're happy, yeah, and I don't disbelieve you. I think you believe you're happy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can be more happy. You haven't tasted the sweetness of happiness. You haven't tasted the sweetness of Iman, which is like the faith in God. Does it make sense? Until you pray, yeah, do that salah, and trust me, it's gonna change your life. And I'm saying to you that feeling that you're expecting, it's not about that feeling. It's about testifying to what you believe. I didn't say, sister, do you feel like being a Muslim? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? I didn't say, do you feel like, I'm saying, sister, testify to what you believe. By the permission of Allah, I've kind of, I forgot what it's called, like, you know when you're searching for gold? I've kind of found I sifted through and found that gold, that iman, that belief that was already there. Mm-hmm. That's got covered up by different things. I'm saying that I've sifted through and we've found your true belief, which was always innately there. Just testify to it. Then at least you can enter paradise. Yeah. Do you challenge what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with me. If there's nothing to challenge, then shut your mouth and take the shahada. No, joking.
No, what was I going to say? Oh gosh. I don't know. It seems like everyone everyone I know that's become Muslim, they all just feel so passionate about it, you know. But for me, I don't feel passionate about it enough to want to become a Muslim.
Shall I tell you why? With all due respect, because you're not learned enough. You haven't looked into it enough. But I'm saying that journey started. Now, the reason I'm going to put a bit of pressure on you to become Muslim now is I can't guarantee the next 5 seconds.
Of course not.
And if you die without being a Muslim, then you're not entering paradise.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that passion's going to come once you read the seerah. That passion's going to come when you read the Quran. Yeah? So, and you're like, some people want to do it the other way around. I'm like, look, at least if you leave the conversation as a Muslim, you're motivated. Now there's pressure on you. I'm a Muslim. I need to like look into it further.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guaranteeing you, look, all the journey your friends have been through, that passion came. Different people have different motivations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like to consider my journey to Islam is based on logic and rationale. Some people it's spirituality. Some people it's the guidance. Some people it's just innate. It just makes sense to them. But you're different. What's your individual thing? You're like, no. I want to be like this sister. This sister was like singing and dancing about it, and then she became Muslim. Yeah. And the other one, like she was so ecstatic about it. No, you might be doing it just because you don't want to go hellfire, because it makes sense, because it's right. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
why are you superimposing their motivation? Like, no, I need to have a similar motivation. You're not different people. You're an individual. Yeah. I was gonna make a reference about skin color, but let's not take it there.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like I'm just joking. We're all different, right?
Yeah.
So your motivation could be different. So if you haven't disagreed with it, what you got to lose? Complete way of life, hellfire. Which one should I do? Paradise or hellfire? Obedience to the one who's created me, who sent evidence through a perfect book, yeah? Or living a subjective life to whatever I think is right. You know, in China, they have stillborn babies.
Stillborn babies?
Yeah. You can go into a restaurant and have a stillborn baby.
Wait, what? What?
Cannibalism, yeah.
What
China.
do you mean? Like they eat them? Huh?
Wait, babies.
Stillborn babies.
What?
So they're babies. They're real babies.
Little fingers.
Huh? Wait.
Google it.
What?
What?
It's a specialism. It's a specialist dish in restaurants. You literally go in there.
Specialist dish. Get out of here.
Yeah.
What?
But why? What's wrong with it?
That's disgusting. disgusting. Why would they
Why?
do that?
Different society have different moral codes. Does it make sense? I can say that's wrong. I can say that's haram because Allah said so. We can't commit what's the word? Cannibalism. So, but you can't. You don't have a system. You can't say that's disgusting. It's disgusting now. When you go to China and you live there, it's like, no, it's fine. It's normal. Does that make sense? In China, there's manga cartoons that depicts violence towards children and child pornography, and just pornography. But it's like, it's okay. It's just a cartoon. I'm like, no, it's haram. It's forbidden.
Yeah.
Because Allah said so. It doesn't matter if it's a cartoon. Do you know what I mean? Do it the right way. So I'm asking you, sister. Yeah? What's stopping you from leaving this conversation as someone who's got the keys to paradise? You have the right belief. You don't disagree with the 5 pillars. You don't disagree with the Prophet Muhammad. Yeah. Do you believe he's a messenger sent by God?
Sorry?
Do you believe he's a messenger sent by God?
Who?
The Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
Sister, you're a Muslim. All right? Shut your mouth. All right? That's it. Khalas. Finished. Now, go on. So, you believe in a creator. You believe in the Prophet Muhammad. You believe in the Quran. Yeah. You believe in the lifestyle. You agree with the 5 pillars. What's stopping you from testifying to that in Arabic and then saying in English and being guaranteed paradise? As long as you die upon this belief. And then the actions later, step by step. And you've got friends and family who will guide you.
I don't know, I like my life the way it is.
Okay, what do you like about it? What's Islam going to change? It's going to take out the haram.
Yeah, it's going to take out the haram and...
So what haram? I don't want you to expose your sins or anything like that. There's nothing that you're going to stop doing which is good for you. Yeah? And it's going to show you a way of doing it in a better way. Yeah? I can go around fornicating. Yeah? Get all these transmitted diseases and so on and so forth. Or I can do it in wedlock. More responsibility for me, but long-term happiness.
When you revert, do all your previous sins get wiped away?
Wiped away clean.
Really? So I could murder someone and revert?
Ideally, yeah.
Damn.
But I would suggest revert first, murder then do tawbah. Because then, you don't know, a struggle might kick off. No, the fact of the matter is, right, the fact of the matter is, when you commit a major sin, yeah, there's still that God consciousness, there's still that repentance, there's still that thing, that connection with God. And I think once you become Muslim or you have that connection with God, you're not going to want to commit murder and so on and so forth. So, yeah, so there's research shown, right, where you have men, maybe this isn't applicable for you because I'm not good with chatting to women, right? Mostly I chat to the man them, who have multiple partners throughout their life. And then they go home to the same woman. They're actually more fulfilled, more happier when they're going home to the same woman.
Of course, one good girl is worth 1,000 women.
Yeah. So now, but then most man them don't realize this. They don't know this. Does it make sense? Yeah. So they want to live a certain lifestyle, and then they realize that, look, wait, that lifestyle that's legislated by God is actually making me more fulfilled, more happy. So I want to know, without being graphic, there might be young children watching at home. Yeah. What changes? What is it that's so good, that's so beneficial that you don't want to live? And you don't necessarily have to leave it right now, today. It's a journey, but long term, I suggest, it will make you happier. I know this one brother, he became Muslim. Yeah, he left his girlfriend. Yeah, and then he got chat to one of his mates who became Muslim. They end up getting married. They got kids. He's in Medina studying. Life is good.
Not easy.
It's that easy, sister. It's that easy. Yeah, by the permission of Allah. Yeah. Yeah. I know one brother. He became Muslim, and he was doing like bare stuff haram that he didn't even know was haram. And then later on now, the literature I hand out is through his dawah organization, Abdul Rahim Green. Yeah, and it's like He was like 6 months, he's just living his life, and he didn't realize like what it meant to be a Muslim, but he's still a Muslim because he just felt like there must be more to life than studying, getting a job, working, getting paid, dying, and getting your children into that habit, and the cycle continues. So I'm asking you, sister, what is it? And I'll give you a good reason why you should stop and how Islam will benefit you. And it's not about stopping right now. Again, I don't want to say that's haram, leave this. I'm saying, look, increase the good. Connect with God, connect with Allah, read the perfect guidance. And then automatically you're going to shed these bad habits, which you may not necessarily perceive it to be bad habits.
Yeah.
So sister, what's stopping you from leaving this conversation as a
It's too much for me to do right now, like right here, right now. I couldn't do it right now. I'd have to talk to my mom. I'd have to like research it more on my own.
Hold up.
Lady, okay, time, we have to go.
All right. With the cameras and stuff. All right. What's your mom gonna say that is gonna make you change your mind? If your mom said this is wrong, don't do it, are you gonna not be a Muslim?
Oh no, of course not. I'm not gonna listen. No, I'm just gonna.
Then what's the point? Habibi, may love little bro. Salam barakatuh. Yeah.
I want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. So she can say whatever she's going to say, and that's fine. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm not forcing you to say something you believe that's not in your heart.
Yeah.
So you're just affirming what you believe. Now, she tells you to stop believing. If she tells you, no, start